And we are back, folks, with another edition of the Recruiting Insider, traveling the country, seeing some of the top prospects as they get ready to embark upon their official visit schedule. And we made it down to Peach State to see one of the nation's best linebackers. He might rather me refer to him as an athlete, though, because you do it from secondary, you could do it at linebacker, you could do it from the edge, you could do it on offense. Talking about Kel's finest, one Mr. Brayden Rouse. Brayden, how you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm good. Appreciate you having me.
So did I describe you correctly as an athlete?
Yeah, that's what I claim to be. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so man, I see people, and you gotta put labels on players. You gotta call them a linebacker. But when I watch you, see you move, you're more like a chess piece.
Yes, sir.
On the defense, is that how your team uses you?
Yes, sir. I mean, I feel like our DC, he's a great defensive-minded coach, and he likes to put me in all sorts of places to kind of throw off the offense. So, I mean, in any types of ways that I can come off the edge or blitz or cover, I mean, that just disguises it in different ways, and I mean, it throws off the offense. So, yeah.
So, with a guy who can do it on both sides, because you can get it done on offense as well. Defense is a mentality, though. So, how did you is there a side of the ball that you gravitate to as far as your mentality is concerned? Or is there a side of the ball that you gravitate to because you feel like, hey, man, this is where you have the most potential? I mean,
yeah.
Balance that out for it.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to most potential, it's definitely defense. I mean, I've only played it for a year. And, I mean, I was on the offensive side my whole life with my dad being an offensive line coach. I've been in the offensive-minded football area. But, I mean, when it comes to just mindset, I feel like defense, you got to be more physical, obviously. But offense is more about the finesse. And, I mean, you got to learn the playbook and all that type of stuff. And with offense, it's different because you're not involved in every play sometimes. So defense, you got to hit someone every play. So it's a lot different. And it was an adjustment for sure at first. But I feel like as the games went on and as the season went, I got more and more comfortable.
So, yeah, that's a switch to go from being the guy who's trying to elude to being the guy who's delivering the punishment, man. Yeah. So what about that piece of it, that mental switch when you get on the football field? You seem like a pretty laid-back dude. But is there a switch that flips when you step on the field?
Yeah, there's definitely a switch. I mean, I've always been a chill guy, but when I get on the field, I'm happy to be there. And I mean, it's fun. Not a lot of people are in this position, and I mean, you never know when it can get taken away. So I try to be one of the most fun guys on the field and just take everything with like a grain of salt. I mean, it's a great experience for sure.
So I always people who watch these know that I like to, especially when a guy has a father who's a coach, how you balance that part of the relationship, because that's your dad.
Yeah.
But when they're coach and they know what it takes to get it done on the football field, sometimes it's hard to turn off that coach switch.
Yeah.
When is that? So do you guys have to be intentional about that? Like, hey, I'm dad now and I'm coach now, or do you guys just not even worry about that? And it's you say what needs to be said? Yeah,
I mean, it's at this point, I mean, he's been my coach for the longest time, so I mean, we kind of get used to it by now, but I mean, it's coach for the most part, but I mean, I know he's my father while he's my coach at the same time. So, I mean, I like him as a coach just because he holds me to a high standard. But when it comes to being a dad, I mean, everything he does and how he, teaches me as to be a son and a great person and a great man, I mean, that's all just part of him coaching as well, too. So it's kind of how he is as a father, too. He's always teaching me lessons and stuff like that. So, I mean, you always got to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, sometimes it comes out very aggressive, but it's coming from a good place, and he's trying to just for the best of you. So, I mean, yeah.
So yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Sometimes when you're getting coached hard, a player has to wonder, is it personal or is he trying to get me better? You don't have to worry.
Not at all.
That's bad, right?
It's for the best. Yeah.
Now, the flip side of it is they can turn it off. They can go home. You are home when he's coaching you hard like that. As you get used to that, though, is that the kind of coaching that you thrive upon? I'm asking, as you look at your coach at the next level, is that the type of coaching that you're seeking to have moving forward?
I'm not necessarily seeking it. I'm used to it. So, I mean, it wouldn't bother me at all. I mean, I like constructive criticism. I like to be critiqued every play on what I did wrong and right. So, I mean, I love that. I also like chill coaches. I mean, I've had different variations of coaching styles my whole life. So, I mean, there's not one specific style, but you can kind of see the feel and get the feel in how they teach and how they coach, how they run their meetings. So, I mean, not one thing, not one style I'm looking for, but just kind of how they carry themselves and how consistent it is and
I got
stuff like that.
All right, so you make the switch over to defense. what was the toughest part of the adjustment for you?
The toughest part was the physicality, 100%. Just being a receiver, you're not very physical. So coming to defense as a linebacker especially, you're hitting a lineman or somebody every play. So that was the biggest adjustment, and then just eye discipline as well. So, I mean, staying out the backfield for the most part. I like to start looking in the backfield sometimes. So just watching the lineman, looking at the block schemes and stuff like that was a big adjustment as well.
I got you, but immediately it feels like, coaches, they start to see the potential. And I look at the rankings and I see them, but I don't know that they really take into account what you're gonna be.
Yeah.
As opposed to, where you are just making the switch. Do you pay attention to the rankings? Does that register with you much at all?
I mean, it's definitely a privilege. I mean, it's a blessing as well just to be ranked. But, I mean, I feel like my job's not done. I haven't even tapped into my full potential yet. So, I mean, the rankings, not too big of a concern because I know I can be way better than this.
Got you. All right, so the biggest piece of your game that you feel like is going to be better from year one in the transition to year two is going to be what?
Physicality. I feel like I'm going to have a lot better block destruction, and I feel like offensive linemen are going to be scared trying to come block me at the second level.
So is that a mentality thing? Is that knowledge of the position thing? Or, I mean, what makes you know that part of you? Or are you bigger? Are you bigger and stronger?
I mean, definitely got bigger in the weight room. I mean, this offseason we've been working our butt off, but it's a balance of both, knowing the scheme and just where the D linemen are going on their certain things. So, I mean, you got to be in different gaps for certain areas, and how far you are from the D lineman, that changes every play for us. So just to be at the right depth and be able to just leverage yourself to outwork the offensive lineman, it's also a mentality. I mean, you want to knock him on his butt every time. So you just got to strike him and be the first to strike instead of taking it. So,
gotcha. All right, so recruiting, it's been explosive for you. I mean, schools from all over the country were all over you, but then you were able to whittle it down. That was a tough process. What was the criteria you used to sort of narrow it down to, the schools that you said, these are the ones I'm going to focus on?
Yeah, I mean, what it came down to, it was just what I felt like I could see, like what schools I could see myself playing at and type of environment. No knock on any of the other schools that have recruited me. It's just I could see myself playing and being in that type of environment and that culture better than the other schools.
So one of them, and we'll kind of go over them one by one. Tennessee. I started with them because it feels like, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, it feels like you've been there the most.
Yeah.
Out of the schools that you're going to be taking official visits to. Is that accurate? Yeah. So you're the most familiar with them, know the coaches the best, know the players the best. I'm assuming that was a big part of why they made the cut, but give me the full sort of synopsis on why they are a part of the final group.
Yeah, with Tennessee, they came in right after my first game. So right after the Corky Kell, literally the day after they offered. And then from there, we just built the relationship. And they've done a great job with me and my family staying in contact and just getting to know us. And it goes both ways. We're evaluating them, they're evaluating us. So, just getting to know them. Every time you go to Tennessee, you see something different and get to know different people. And I feel like it's a great place, and I just had to include them in my top 4.
Got you. I'll say, so Alabama, we know about the Tide, school that's been around in your recruitment for a while. Give me why they were able to make the cut for you.
Yeah. I liked Bama before they offered me, and I went up to their first game against Western Kentucky, and I didn't have the offer. I wasn't really a high prospect either, but I just wanted to see a game, get the atmosphere. But after my season, they ended up offering me, and I feel like from there, once they offered, they went all in, and they've done a great job recruiting me, and I feel like they've always had a winning culture there, and they just have a great brand as well. So when you talk about Alabama, you think of football. So that's part of the big reason why they're in there. Just they've always had a great culture, and Coach DeBoer making that transition, he's kept that culture. And as we can see, like not a lot of people hit the portal at that team either. So a lot of people like to be there, that's huge.
All right. So then the one that I'm calling a surprise, and maybe not a surprise to you, but Tennessee. That was not Tennessee, but Texas. That was a spot. You look at, a lot of people just assume that Georgia was going to be that other school in the mix, but you came with the school that's on your chest right now, like you represent the Longhorns here. Kel, what about the Longhorns that made them kind of swoop in and make the cut for you?
I mean, they've been on a uprise. I feel like they're one of the more up-and-coming programs. Just, I mean, ever since Coach Sark got there, I mean, he came in not at a great time for Texas, and every year you could see the growth and the development with the whole program. And, I mean, they've kind of solidified their culture right now as well. So I feel like there's great people there. They get a lot of people into the NFL as well. So, I mean, they're doing the right things. They're competing for national championships every year. And, I mean, they've just been recruiting me really, really well. So
then Michigan. I think as the northernmost school in the mix, I think that was a school that maybe surprised maybe some people in the South.
Yeah.
Michigan was able to come down to this neck of the woods and go toe-to-toe with a lot of the SEC schools to make your cut. So what about Michigan made them up that level of interest for you?
Coach BJ, I mean, he's been a big part of the whole recruiting for me when it comes to Michigan. I mean, he's came to the school a couple times, and I mean, every time we really get to sit down and talk. And I mean, I learned something new about him. He learned something new about me. And for the longest time, like, they weren't I wasn't considering them too much. But when they asked and they were like, hey, you want to come up? I was like, for sure. So we went out there, and they just showed us what they had to offer. And I mean, just touring through their facilities, going through Ann Arbor, and it's just a great campus. And going through the facilities, you get to meet new people, get to talk to the players, see how they feel. I mean, they got a couple Georgia boys up there too that I'm familiar with. So talking to them, seeing how they like it, I mean, it felt like a great fit, and I could see myself there as well. So, I mean, just had to include them in there.
So when you went up there, you were able to take it all in. That's your first time in Michigan?
Yes, sir.
So you, looking back on it now, what was maybe the biggest takeaway, the thing that stood out to you the most while you were there?
I mean, there wasn't one singular thing. I got the feeling that it was a great place, but one thing didn't stick out. It just, overall, it surprised me, and it can't really describe, like, how, but it just, I got there and I was like, okay, like, this is Michigan football, and I kind of overlooked them for a while too. So to me, to go up there and be surprised like that, I mean, I was like, okay, like, this is a serious school that can really compete.
So talk to me about what they said about how they use you, where they fit you in on the defense. What did they say about that?
I mean, I just went through practice with them, and I mean, I saw how they use their linebackers. I mean, they didn't really have to tell me how they see me, but they use their linebackers in all sorts of ways. I mean, they blitz, they can cover, they come off the edge. So, I mean, that's exactly what I want to do in college. I want to be in a scheme, and you got Coach Wink, who's been in the NFL for multiple years, so he knows how to develop people. He's seen NFL talent before. So to know that if you go to that school, you're going to be coached by someone that knows exactly what they're talking about and knows how to get you there.
So they won a national championship a couple of years ago, but this last year was the first year for Coach Moore, right? So, been up and down to start the year, but then they finished on the high note, beating Ohio State, right? Beating Alabama in the bowl game. Did you watch them much last year? What did you think of how things unfolded?
I mean, no knock on any, like, certain group or anything, but I mean, they didn't have their offense put together. I felt like defensively they were pretty sound all year, but when it comes to the Ohio State game, I feel like it just shows how none of the kids were giving up and how serious they take that game. And I feel like everybody was still bought in. By the end of the season, you would think people kind of give up like that, but they were locked in, and they came in with a mission, knowing that they're the underdogs going into that. And they shocked the world, and that shows a lot about how the coaches carry themselves and how the players carry themselves in that facility.
So now you look around, and when you're on campus, I've been asking all the guys this: did you get a chance to run into Bryce Underwood at all?
Oh yeah, we talked a little bit on the field. He came up to me after one of their water breaks and said, "What's up?" So I mean, that was a cool moment for sure.
That all happened around the same time. Michigan beats Ohio State. That shocked a lot of people. Bryce flips from LSU to Michigan.
Yep.
That seemed to surprise a lot of people. Were you following that recruitment, or did that surprise you at all? What about that?
I mean, since he's in Michigan, I mean, it was always a thought to me, but I didn't take it too serious because I thought he was pretty locked in. But when he flipped, I mean, to see that one of the best players in the country sees the vision and sees that they're on the uprise and they have a good chance of competing for a national championship every year, it gives you hope. And knowing that such a great player goes to that type of school, so he's so young too, I mean, gives you a lot of hope.
Man, you're pretty good at this. That's exactly what I wanted to know. Does that impact your thought process when you see a guy of that magnitude in recruiting anyway? make that kind of decision, does that speak to you? Not to say you're going to do what he does, but does it speak to you in your recruitment? So now let's back away from, well, one more question about Michigan. As far as Sharon Moore, what are your impressions once you got a chance to sit down and talk with Coach Moore? What did you think of him?
I mean, he's a great guy. I mean, when I sat down and talked to him, me and my family, we went into his office, and it was just kind of a chill conversation. We got to talk ball, and then we also got to talk our personal life, and he just kind of explained the whole situation that was going on and everything like that. And then just, excuse me, how much he liked me, and he could see myself fitting in his type of program, just when it comes to character as well. Like, they look for good football players, but he was explaining how, like, they look for the character part as well, and that's, I mean, I could see that too. So what he was saying, I kind of would look for when I would go out the facilities or anytime I talked to anybody in the facilities. So, I mean, everything checked itself. So
let's back away from.
All right, so Brayden, now that you have narrowed it down to these final few schools, what's going to be the criteria that separates one from all the rest, the biggest factors in your choice when you make it?
Yeah, when it comes to just the factors, there's not one factor that I can name off the top of my head. Every time you go, you see something new, and you get to know different people and really get to know them on a deeper level. And I feel like a big thing is also just going to be able to talk to the players, and not just linebackers, but everybody, and get to see what their positives and negatives are in programs. And I mean, overall, after the visit, I mean, me and my family will sit down and we'll say what we liked and what we didn't like, and then all our OVs, we kind of weigh out the positives and negatives for all the schools, and by then I feel like we'll have our best school that we'll want to commit to and what will be the best fit for me.
So do you have a timeline for when you like to make that decision?
Yeah, I mean, somewhere around July. So after my OVs, that's the plan.
Okay.
Kind of want to get it done just before the season so I can focus on my senior year and be committed and have all that stuff figured out.
So are you talking to any other recruits? I mean, are you connecting with any other guys, either in classes or not in classes already, about, hey, we could go to school together or do this together? I mean, are you in contact with guys like that?
Yeah, I mean, I got friends all across the country that we've been staying in contact with, and I mean, we just talk about stuff like that all the time when our OVs are, when we're going to be visiting. So, I mean, just to know that I have a couple guys that are going on some of my OVs, and we can just kind of go through the experience together, and then we can talk about it as well. So, I mean, right now we haven't like, oh, we're going here or something like that, but I mean, we definitely want to make a program special, and I mean, that goes for this 2026 class.
So what about NIL? You didn't mention that as a factor. To a varying degree, all guys are looking at it. How big of a factor will that be for you?
I mean, NIL, it's a big factor. You can't shy away from that. I mean, that's just how the college football has changed into. So, I mean, NIL is going to be big, but that's not the driving focus for me and my family. I feel like when it comes to just how genuine the program is and how we feel the relationships are and the connections, that's the biggest part. But, I mean, obviously NIL will have a factor.
So I can't help but ask the question about distance. I mean, how comfortable are you with the distance from home factor in this whole equation as you've gone through it?
I mean, for the 4 schools that I have as my top, I mean, all 4 schools my parents could access. I mean, with Tennessee and Bama, you can drive, and then with Texas, you can fly right into Austin or Dallas, whatever it is, and then you can fly into Detroit and Michigan. So, I mean, we're planning on trying to get some packages for that with the NIL, but I mean, my parents, they're not too concerned about that. I mean, they'll be at all the games either way, so.
I hear that. Okay, so you got it pretty well mapped out about how that piece of it is going to go. You don't have to tell me who it is if it's true, but do you have a school that you're leaning to at this moment? Because, you know, people are saying you do.
Yeah.
So I'd rather ask you personally, but in your heart of hearts, are you leaning somewhere?
I'm not leaning somewhere. I mean, there's not one school, to be honest. I would say, I mean, it's a tight-knit race, and I feel like OVs, it's going to be telling, and our biggest thing is we don't want to go on an OV and then forget how we felt. So we're going to keep going back to how we felt about that OV every time we go to a new OV. So, I mean, after all 4 OVs, we'll have a school. So.
All right, so look ahead to your senior season. If we were to pick out some games, what would be the ones that we should select if we want to come down and watch you do your thing? It's like the biggest ones on the schedule.
My big one that I have circled is the Lowndes game. We went down there last season, and it was a close game, but we ended up losing. It was pretty tight game, so I really want that one back. But I mean, there's a lot of games that we need to get back, and same schedule for us. So all those teams we lost to and even the ones we beat, I mean, we want to have a perfect season this year and definitely compete for a state championship. So
outstanding. All right. So I always like to take the opportunity with guys as we come to the end to have you sort of reflect for a minute and think about the people who helped you get where you are on this journey, right? You didn't get here alone. You're not going to keep staying on this journey alone. You got people, there's your family, of course, your coaches, your friends who have helped you every step of the way. So this is your opportunity to shout them out, the people who are, holding you down.
Yeah, I mean, my family, that's the biggest one. I mean, they've been there my whole life, and they've never switched up on me. So they've seen the worst of me. They've seen me to where I am now, and still not even the best. And they have always supported me in the right way. And I feel like I have a great support group around me when it comes to my family that they just want the best for me, and they're not trying to get anything out of me. So they're a big part. I mean, a couple of my coaches, they've been a big influence on me as well. Just some of them have been through this process already. So to talk to them and just really like figure out how they went with it and how they went about it and just their experiences, I mean, that's been a great part. And they've developed me as a player and as a man as well too. I mean, my dad, he's obviously on our staff, but I mean, all the other coaches, they're like father figures for me as well too. So just have all of them really supporting me and just wanting the best for me, that's been a great thing. It's been a blessing.
Okay, and so final question, I'll end with the Michigan question. What would you say as you think about Michigan? What do you like the most about Michigan at this moment, at this point? What's the biggest question you have?
The biggest thing I like about the coaches is, about Michigan is their coaches. I mean, I feel like the coaches have built a really good relationship with me, and I've got to get to know them a lot better. My biggest question for them is how they play this season. I mean, with their whole quarterback situation and how their offense looks. I know their defense is going to be sound, but just to see how their offense pans out and if they have a chance to compete for a national championship, that's my biggest question.
Well, Brayden, man, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day. It's been exciting to see how things have unfolded for you. Wish you nothing but the best of luck in recruiting. I know you're going to kill it on the football field, so wish you nothing but the best of luck in finding the best possible choice on the recruiting trail, man. Thanks a lot for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Brayden Rouse, thanks for watching another edition of the Recruiting Insider.